Anytime you can get the same results by asking versus telling, you ask. You get greater buy-in and involvement when you ask people, you know, and plus it's a great way to show respect. How do you coach people to go up the levels of accountability and not to make excuses and to not to blame?
I think overall this has been a great experience. A lot of stuff that, you know, wouldn't have ever been said or would have never been brought up definitely, you know, is able to be addressed now because of the learning styles of other people. You know how to speak with them now. Yeah. It's definitely something that I'll be able to take back and talk to my CCRs about.
Big one for me is modeling the behavior that you want to see in others. And that's less of a skill, and it's just more of a mindset and an awareness.
It's a real self-awakening eye-opener of who I am, how I respond to different atmospheres, different personalities. It is a very, very incredible experience, and I will have taken that to heart and will take it with me for the rest of my life.
A little shorthand talk, it's called feel, felt, found. That if someone's in kind of a funky spot or something, you can say, you know what, I know how you feel. I felt that way myself, and I've found it's not about getting to get better, it's about letting go of. So the question is, what do you have to let go of to get what you want? See, what do you have to let go of to get what you want? And for most of us, I can give you the 4 things, right? It's a need to be right, which is connected to a fear of being wrong, because most of us like to be right? You know, we have a need to be comfortable and a fear of being uncomfortable, because most of us like to be comfortable.
I'm being assertive. Okay, what I relearned about myself yesterday is that I am way too sensitive. I take things personally when I shouldn't. Too much of some of my strengths turn into weakness, and people view me as weak.
The old game was you used people to get work done, right? You get work done through people, right? Get this done, do this, do this, do this. I guarantee, and that, by my thinking, that's below the line. See, the new game, the 21st century game, is you take getting work done through people and turn it inside out. So you're not getting work done through people, you're getting people done through work. See, how do you use the work process to bring out the best in the people? You treat people the way you want to see them, not the way they are. See, because otherwise they just stay that way.
What I have experienced here is more of a level of personal growth than I could have ever expected to take away from a day and a half spent in a small room with a group of people I see every day. I think that through the workshop we have completely solidified our team in Russellville, and that we are going to just be fabulous when we get back.
I have a lot to think about and reflect on tonight. I'm so very lucky to be able to work in an environment with people like this.
We're going to cross the line. Here it is. Ready? We're going to move up to the world of attentive listening or active listening. Please begin. There's 4 predominant behavior styles. D, I, S, and C that stands for, as you know, dominant, influence, right? Steadiness and conscientiousness.
I learned to stay away from the D's.
It's finally good to see a personality behind the computer name or the data port number.
Sometimes I get so involved in the surveys and the monitoring, and that I forget these people are human beings, and that I feel like I'm listening to a machine constantly, because all I'm doing is pulling phone calls. And then when a supervisor comes to me and says, I've had to coach this person, I realize, oh, that person has feelings, just like I do.
The golden rule is, of course, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you, correct? Right, that was the deal. Well, one thing that the use of the DISC provides is the opportunity to bump that up a level, believe it or not, to what's called kind of the platinum rule. Do unto others the way they wish to be done under. You know, so if there's someone who needs a lot of detail, you give them more detail. If there's someone who wants more big picture, you give them big picture. A strength overused becomes a liability, right? You know, so whereas a D might be confident, that could turn into arrogance.
My self-assuredness can sometimes be a weakness. Sometimes self-assured can cross over into arrogance. Like Jonathan told us, there's simple things that you already know. Now, what are you going to do with it? And I think that's a great tool that he's given us.
What are my best assets? Make sure I don't overuse it, because I don't want it to be a disadvantage. Let them feel the energy that I feel and get them pumped up to create results. They'll feel the energy, they will feel how motivated I am, how dedicated I am to them and their success.
I have to do it myself, and I cannot do it alone. That's what partners are for. That's what teams are for. That's what organizations are for.
I think what I learned the most is we is better than me. I tend to try to do everything myself because I'm a control freak. And at the end of the day, I'm so ragged because I'm doing all of these things for everybody, and it's like, oh.
If something needs to be done, I'll just do it instead of, delegating it to someone else. But at the same time, I tend to take on too much, and then I have to say, how am I going to get all this done? And I've been working on that a lot lately, and so it just reinforced everything that I've been trying to work on.
And think about the definition of influence. Influence is getting the results now while keeping the relationship for later, maintaining the relationship for later. Because anybody can get results now, but you leave dead bodies and a big wake behind you, right? And a lot of ill will. But so how do you get the results now while keeping the relationship? And guess what? Guys are great at that. We just got together yesterday morning. I mean, I don't know about you, but that's a little staggering, in terms of that. So in some ways, from my perspective, these 2 days are examples of living your life above the line.
I would like to thank Jonathan and Jamie for allowing us to have this time. It's made me see a lot of people in this room a lot different than I've seen them before. And I hope that I have learned a lot on how to implement and interact with these people on a more personable and more professional level.
I think I have a way better understanding of certain people's personalities, maybe why we didn't see eye to eye at times. I think we have such a wonderfully diverse group.
Understanding their personalities, them understanding my personality has been huge for us. I can certainly see us being a lot more cohesive, just a better, stronger team.
Well, these past few days have been like an archaeology expedition. You're laughing, but it's true, because all of the things that we've discovered are things that were already there. We just dug them out.
Jonathan's expertise at helping people remember what they might have forgotten or remember what they chose to forget, it's invaluable, both to an individual and to the team aspect.
The software upgrade that we've kind of all just received, sort of as mental upgrade, is a really neat way for me to think about it.
It was, I know, life-altering for some of us. And I think reminded a lot of us of our personal strengths that we tend to forget and not utilize on a daily basis. But absolutely come to the workshop expecting professional development and walk away with so much personal development was a most excellent experience for me.
How in depth, even without realizing it, you got from everybody and yourself is basically, here's this, now you do all the work, you think it through, and you just start to learn so much about yourself that was just masked, and you were just kind of going through the motions of, this is what I think it is, but then when you really sat down and thought about it, it was like, wow, it was amazing.